Hi, it's Scott.
And Tina.
Here for My Heart Disney.
So today we're going to discuss a couple things, but mainly focus on the benefits and the perks of staying on Disney property.
Which is what made Tina fall in love with Disney.
Right. So we're going to discuss how I became a Disney lover, because I was not, in fact, ever always a Disney lover.
No.
I was never really impressed, honestly. I lived in Florida for 8 years and had, during that time, only visited Magic Kingdom, just Magic Kingdom one time. Scott, on the other hand, I think was born a Disney lover and has a bit of a obsession with Disney.
Oh, yeah, I have ATD.
What is ATD?
Addiction to Disney.
That's funny, because we actually had a neighbor tell us once, well, she told me, that she thought Scott had a Disney addiction, and there's some honest truth to that. So, I never really understood it. I couldn't understand what Scott saw in Disney World, because I think I had the misconception that I think a lot of people do, that Disney World is kiddish or it's for kids, and that's so not true. And I actually plan on doing some research to find out, because the times that we've been in the park, it seems like there's actually more couples, young couples, couples our age, and a lot of older
Couples,
people.
yeah.
Just couples, not families and children. I actually saw more of that, I think, than...
That could be, too, because of the time of the year we go.
It could
We go on the off-peak season, so we don't have to deal with the crowds.
That's true.
So most kids are in school during the time we go. That's why we go when we go.
Right.
I mean,
So, we want to talk about some of the perks of staying on Disney property opposed to staying off of Disney property, because we've done both. But first, just to give a little bit of a backstory on Scott and I, we were actually first boyfriend and girlfriend when we were younger, like 10, 11 years old. His family and my family actually were seasonal campers at a campground in the Poconos in Pennsylvania. So Scott's family lived closer to the campground, and we lived like an hour and a half away. So we spent our summers and our weekends together. Many times walking through the trails, down to the lake, holding hands, or taking hay rides. So
all kind of fun stuff.
yeah, we have a lot of memories. And the great thing is that my family knows and loves him, and his family knows me. I don't know if they love me,
Yes, they
but
do.
they know me. So, but we lost touch. We stopped camping, I think, in our early teens. And, back then there was no social media. You didn't have Facebook and Twitter, so we lost touch. So my sister actually found Scott on Facebook, and then we got in touch with each other, and we're communicating, and he would call, and we'd talk on the phone, and he came to visit me where I lived, and he actually was living in Georgia at that time, and I came to see him. And then eventually I moved to Georgia to start our life with him, and it, I think, became our happily ever after. So we had 4 children and 6 grandchildren, and it was actually our first time to Disney together was when our oldest granddaughter had graduated from kindergarten. Scott wanted to take her to Disney World. So I think she was like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So that was going to be our first trip together to Disney World. And when we were in the planning stages, Scott wanted to stay on Disney property, and I did not. I wanted to save money. I thought it would be too expensive to stay on Disney property, and so we chose not to stay on Disney property. I thought that I would cook in the room. I took my George Foreman grill. Thought it was cheaper, the hotel room, but we quickly found out the accommodations. I mean, I didn't really have anything to compare it to at that time, but now looking back, I would never stay off of Disney property ever again. We will always stay on Disney property. So one of the great things is, after we took our granddaughter, we had gone at Christmas time once, and so we booked. Scott said, I don't want you, cooking meals at night in the hotel room, and I want you to experience the true Disney experience. So he convinced me we were going to stay on Disney property. I immediately started seeing the benefits of staying on Disney property, because before it even became our vacation time, we had received a little packet in the mail with a little booklet that contained coupons for a bunch of things. There was
Disney Quest.
Free admission
free
to Disney
golf,
Quest, miniature arcade, free arcade points.
Whatever you want to call them. They're like, they don't use coins anymore.
Yeah, they actually give you a little credit card,
thing,
but they give you, I think it was like 100 credits that you can use at your resort, because the resorts have arcades in them. So, and then you also get coupons for discounts on dining and shopping. So, right away, before we ever even arrived, there was a perk, and I like that. And so that was nice. And then I learned about the Magic
Band. On the other hand, to her point, she's very money conscious. So hey, free stuff, she's in for that.
Yes. So now enter the Magic Band, which I didn't really know anything about the Magic Band at that point either. So with the Magic Band, you set that up prior to going on vacation.
Right, which we discussed in another vlog, so
we'd
like you to watch that video.
Right, we'll discuss more the benefits of the Magic Band, but the great thing about that is you can set your Fast Passes up in advance.
Yes.
So you're guaranteed Fast Passes, and I think you can do it up to 60 days per Disney's website. So some of the other things I think are, now we don't fly, we live in Georgia, so it takes us between 5 and 6 hours to get there. But if you fly, you get, you actually don't have to claim your baggage, I think, once you reach Orlando. And they actually send your luggage directly to your hotel room. So if you're flying in, that is just, to me, awesome. You're not having to wait for your luggage. And then you can rent a car, but honestly, if you stay on Disney property, there is absolutely no reason, because that's, to me, one of the biggest perks.
And Disney will take you to your hotel.
Right.
It's called Magical Express.
Right.
So you get off your plane, there's signs throughout the airport to tell you how to get to Disney's Magical Express. You go down and you get to Disney's Magical Express. A bus comes and picks you up, and it'll have your hotel name on it, and you go to the hotel.
So, also with that, so your transportation, now we drive, so once you're at your resort, you don't have to move your car. On one vacation, and we'll tell you, it's pretty funny how we ended up doing that vacation, that we were there for 9 days, and our car never moved the entire 9 days.
Which, for me, is fantastic, because I do most of the driving on the way down. Tina doesn't like to drive too much. So I do most of the driving. So once we got there, I parked the car, and and my commute to work every day, is a half hour of Atlanta traffic. And if anybody's ever visited Atlanta, you know what that's like. So it was so nice.
Nice break for him.
Yeah, it was so nice to be able to just park the car.
And less stress for me, because I tend to get a little nervous in cars. So, but they have the bus system, the monorail, then they have the boat ferries. And so all those methods of transportation not only get you to the parks, but you can use it to go from resort to resort, because we like to go check out other resorts too. Yeah. And it also takes you to Disney Springs, which used to be downtown Disney. So that's...
You just got to be... When you're visiting other resorts, you got to be creative. Like, you got to know what to do. You got to know, hey, I can go here, and then, But we'll cover that in another vlog.
Right. Yeah, because there's different dining at the other hotels, resorts, and gift shops, and so I guess what I liked the most. Well, let's just say that we had gone at Christmas time and spent Christmas Day there, and it was truly magical. Seeing Disney at Christmas time was incredibly beautiful, and I think that's when my love of Disney started.
Was kindled,
and I wish it never ended, because it was a really nice time, and I definitely saw the perks of being a Disney resort guest. And to me, one of the biggest perks was, in conjunction with your Magic Band, using that as your source of payment, entrance to the parks and all that. What I thought was great is when you shop any of the parks, and I believe downtown Disney too, Disney Springs,
Disney Springs, yes.
Anywhere on Disney property, if you make a purchase of merchandise, you don't have to carry that around. And that to me is huge, because who wants to be carrying things around, lugging it around, or forget it somewhere? You know, you sit down and you leave your bag sitting there.
Or you got to ride a ride, you got to hold it. I mean, how many
Right.
times you've gone to a park, and especially with children, and you're telling them, oh, well, we'll get that on the way out. We'll get that on the way out.
Right.
With that experience or that perk, you don't have to do that. It's
Right.
buy it, fill out a
And
piece of paper.
Disney sends
it's
it
gone.
right back to your resort. So
They sprinkle a little pixie dust on it.
yeah,
Out
so
there.
plus just I think the whole experience of staying on property, and one example is that one time we went check-in times, I don't think until 3 or 4 o'clock. I think it was 3.
Look real quick for me.
Yeah. But anyway, it was either 3 or 4, and we actually got there about 9 o'clock in the morning because we were so anxious to start our vacation. We actually left Georgia the night before because we were experiencing some bad weather here. We were actually under some tornado watches, so we decided to leave the night before, and we were just going to
Because who cares
drive.
about our house because it's blown away?
We're in Disney. So we got to Magic Kingdom about 9 a.m. and we just decided to go to guest services and attempt to check in to see if they had a room available for us, which they happened to have a room available. We always choose to go with the king room because you get more space, but 90% of Disney's king rooms are handicap accessible. So the room that they originally had put us in actually didn't work for us because it was a true handicap room, and it was a roll-in shower. There was just some things that we just did not like about the room. The shower head was lower, and so we went
I mean,
back
for a
to the
handicapped
desk.
person, it would be
Right.
fantastic.
But so we decided to go down and tell them that the room, was not really acceptable. Do they have another room for us? Which they did not. Mind you, if we were at any other hotel, they would have told us, check-in's not till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're having some bad thunderstorms here.
Yeah.
Did you find?
Yes, and it's actually funny. I never knew this, but there's actually multiple check-in times. At the villas, the Disney Deluxe Villas, you can't check in until 4 p.m. For the campsites, it's 1 p.m. And at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort, it's...
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, that
all
is
the
1
other-
p.m. for campsites.
Yes.
All other ones are 3 p.m. The checkout time is 11 a.m.
Right,
Which is
so
pretty standard.
here it is, 9 o'clock in the morning. They got us a room. The room was not acceptable for us, to no fault of Disney. But we went back. They could have said, hey, sorry, come back at 3 o'clock. But Disney went out of their way. They got on the radio, they called housekeeping, and they got us a room available. Right there, I think I
Sold
was
ya.
in my eyes, because that was my first experience of how they treat you as a guest on Disney property. You just really are not going to get anywhere else. The resorts, just how well cared they are and clean. Something I don't think you're going to get that same standard in an off-site
I
resort.
highly doubt it. I mean, the one we stayed off-site was not to Disney standards.
Right, and comparing, now mind you, at that time when we stayed off-site, I was trying to save money.
Right.
So we went with inexpensive, cheap hotel room, and that's exactly what we got. So you pay a little bit more, and you get so much more.
So in the long run, if you actually take the time we lost in the parks into consideration and the driving
yeah,
and all that,
pay.
you're probably not paying anymore, really.
Well, not only that, especially, I mean, whether you're traveling with a family or, or like us with a couple, there's so much just to do at the resorts alone. Not just at the resort you're staying at, but you can visit other resorts. But
You can visit every other
right,
resort.
they have arcades, they have dining, they have shopping, they have recreation, their pools. things to do in the resort besides the pool. They play pool games every night. They show Disney movies, so there's just really.
Which, I wonder. I'll have to look this up for you and put it on another vlog. But I'm wondering if every resort doesn't play a different movie. That if your resort was playing something you didn't want to watch,
you could
go to a different resort.
I'm not sure because I know when we were there this last time that I did see a schedule. Now, whether that was specific to if it's standard or if it's was specific for our hotel, but yeah, we'll have to
search
check
because
into
maybe
that.
you go down and you say, "Oh, I don't want to see that movie," and then go to a different hotel and see a different movie.
So, now,
sorry, I got off track there.
Tell you something a little funny. So, when we went at Christmas, that was a short. I think we went 3 nights, 4 days,
something like that.
Yeah, but I
think it was 5 nights. I think it's 5 and 4. 5 nights, 5 days, 4 nights.
Right, you're right. So, but we had already had our next vacation set for the same year. We had actually booked it for September because at different times during the year.
It wasn't the same year as for this year.
Right. Oh, and we went for Christmas. Yeah, it was before. So, we had actually booked it in September because Disney offers different discounts and added perks at different times of the year, like their off-peak season. So in September, they were offering a free dining plan, which we had never taken advantage of the dining plan. We've never purchased it, so I can't really say whether it's worth it or not, but we've just never used the dining plan.
Right.
So, because in September, they're going to give it to us for free, so who doesn't like free? We said, why not? So, we're there for Christmas, and we came back, and already I missed it. I was sad because I really truly had a magical time when we were there at Christmas, and I didn't want to wait till September. So this was beginning of Tina's love for Disney at this point. So we started looking at changing our vacation, and originally when we booked in for September, we were only going for a week. I think it was another 5 days, 4 nights.
Yeah.
So we looked into it and we decided we were going to go in April, which we knew we were going to lose the free dining plan, and we were okay with that.
Yeah.
But we also extended the vacation to 9 days, 8 nights.
Right.
And that's when my real love of Disney, I think, set in. Because it was as if time stood still.
Yes.
There was so much to do.
Funny part about it is we got tickets for only 5 days. Because we figured, 4 days, first day you get there, you're not doing anything. The second day, or the day you're leaving, you're not going to go to the park. And then we figured, hey, 1 day, 2 days in between, maybe go to the park 2 days, take a day off. Well, the day off came, and we're sitting there. We get ourselves ready in the morning. We go down and have breakfast, and we're sitting there looking at each other going, okay, what are we going to do now? We're like, well, let's add tickets. Which we're thinking, oh boy, a day's tickets are $99 per person.
Another $100.
So we're thinking, oh man, that's another $200.
Yeah.
No, we get down there, $21 for both of us.
To add more tickets.
To add more tickets. We ended up actually adding 2 more days worth of 3 days worth of tickets because we did parks 8 days.
And we did the park
7
hopper.
days. 7 days.
And we did the park hopper.
Yeah.
So, also, one of the benefits of staying on Disney property that you will not get if you stay off Disney property is you get extra magic hours, they're called, right?
Yes.
So, you're going to, on select days and with select parks, you're going to get some parks are going to open earlier and some are going to stay open later, where the general public, right, can't get in.
The reason I'm laughing is make sure you check that daily, because we haven't experienced that. We went to the Magic Kingdom for extra magic hours in the morning. It was supposed to be open at 7. We get there.
Wasn't that Christmas Day?
No. That was when we met the
people from Canada.
And we get there, and wow, to our surprise, and many more people's surprise, it wasn't open until 8. So,
which was okay, though, because
one thing you can say about Disney is there's a lot of nice people that go there. I mean, we always met nice people. We talk to people. You have conversations. You're sitting, just weird stuff.
One time we were there and we were watching Illuminations at Epcot, and we just started talking to this older couple who actually comes by train from Pennsylvania, and they actually lived in the town like 5 minutes away from where I grew up in Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about them.
So
yeah.
It was interesting because we had been talking to them for quite a while. You know, we had gotten our place where we wanted to be for the fireworks illuminations at Epcot, and we were just talking to these really nice people. And then as the conversation went on, come to find out they lived like
hometown.
5 minutes away from my
Tina's
hometown. So yeah, you're always
meeting each other. And one year, that was Christmas time. We met this couple. We got off Space Mountain.
Oh, that was funny.
We were talking, and then we went and just sat down for a rest.
We were.
And we just, we were just taking a rest, and they were there. Well, it was like, 3-4 hours later? Boom, we stop on another bench. They were there again. It's like the true meaning of it's a small world. You're in Disney, who's huge.
It's huge, and we
kept running into these people.
And
I'm sorry, we're getting off track.
That's okay, but honest, we ended up getting their email address, and we need to get back in touch again. We didn't keep in touch like we all said we were going to do. So, but anyway, back to the perks. So, how you're treated, number one, is it's just huge. You're not going to get that level of service that Disney provides. They give you a true vacation. And your resorts, they're themed. The rooms, a lot of the rooms are themed.
Which we have done a vlog on that for Pop Century.
Right.
And we'll do more.
Favorite.
Yeah, we'll do more throughout our time.
So, but you'll get little extras in your room. Like one day you may come back after being in the park all day, and they may have put something in your window or did something a little special in your room. They really do they make it magical.
They up it one.
Yes.
One up.
So, yes, you can stay off property. You may save a few dollars with a cheaper hotel room. Some of them offer the shuttles,
but they're not as frequent as Disney.
Right, you're going to be, it's not near as frequent, because I think the most we've ever waited for a bus at Disney was 10 minutes. I don't think we've ever waited.
Unless you get there right when the one's pulling out, and then you got maybe a 15-minute wait.
Yeah, but it's never been a long wait. And they run, I think, every 10 minutes, the buses.
Yeah.
Every 10, 15
Depending
minutes.
on the crowd levels.
Right. So, yeah, it's just, you really get a lot. They have a concierge desk. They'll make your dining reservations for you. They can arrange taxi service, do a car rental where they actually bring the car to you at Disney World. But if you drive to Disney, you park your car. We parked it for 9 days, and we had the best vacation we ever had. And now we can't wait to get back again. All the time. That's all we talk about. So
and to Tina's point about their theming and everything at the hotels, not only do they have their theming, but when you go to a regular hotel and you park, where do you park your car? Right in front of your room. You see the parking lot. Disney? No. It's hidden behind the other resorts.
You never see the parking lot, which is huge.
Yeah, and the nice thing, I know a lot of people...
But they have security.
I was just going to say, a lot of people are going to be worried about their car, but they got security that patrols all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I think we walked out to the car a couple times, maybe...
In the beginning.
Two times during the whole entire week, to be honest with you. And it was... I think one time was to get something out of it, and actually, I'm sorry, where the laundry facility was, we were lucky enough to park close to the laundry facility. So when we were doing laundry, we just sneak around the back, look at the car.
Check on the car.
See how it was.
Which was fine.
Yeah, it was nothing. Right. I mean, perfect.
So, I'm now sold that I don't think we'll ever
I would never stay off Disney
I'll never stay off Disney property again. To me, it is definitely worth that little bit of extra. I mean, even if it's like $30 extra per night, what you're saving in having to park if you choose to drive to the parks, if you're staying on property,
like $17.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Because if you stay off property and the hotel that you stay at does not offer a shuttle, then you're going to have to pay to park. Not to mention the traffic, the gas, and the time loss. So Disney makes it so easy to have everything there. Your
It is.
resort.
It's $17 per day to park.
So you don't have to drive somewhere to have dinner. You don't have to drive somewhere to get souvenirs. Plus, you're closest to the parks.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that.
The longest
staying on
ride's
property.
15 minutes
Yeah.
away.
So you're just not going to get that. So there you have it. And on that note,
And it's time to show some
Disney love. See you next
See
time.
you next time, guys.
Not sure what's going on here.
Hit it again.